first of all, can I ask you, have you got your cup of tea? You got your chai?
I've got my jar that got with me, so
You got jar that got as well. Oh, that's fine. That's perfect. Okay, this is awesome. All right, cool. So for everyone that's watching, I'll just do a quick intro, and then we'll kind of kick into it and we'll go through it.
Yep.
So for people that have joined us for the first time, this page was set up to kind of give a platform to some unsung talent, unsung heroes, people that have done some amazing things. And the idea and the concept was about kind of getting stories in front of people so we can inspire different people. Mm-hmm. Last week we had Shaz, who's a film director, come in and talk about his visit to Cannes and the sort of people he's met. He met Barack Obama. He's working on another film. And then this week, I mean, I've been talking to Sukhi. I've known Sukhi for quite a while, and I've asked Sukhi to come on. So just going to quickly introduce Sukhi, and Sukhi is the Sikh channel wali, the TV presenter from the Sikh channel, and she's joining me with my cup of tea.
I was going to say, yeah, that's a name that's kind of stuck with me. So yeah, that's what they kind of call me. But I am Sukhi Kaur, and yes, as you mentioned, I do host quite regularly on the Sikh channel.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Awesome. So, Sukhi, are you up for a bit of a laugh? I mean, I think we need a bit of an icebreaker. We need to get into it a little bit. So, are you ready for this?
I was going to say, it depends on what you're going to make me do.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to keep it simple, right? I'm going to give you some quotes from some Hollywood films in English. And because you're the Punjabi from the Sikh channel, I assume your Punjabi is going to be brilliant, right?
Okay.
I'm going to test you in your Punjabi. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an image, and then I'm going to say the quote in English, and I want you to translate it in Punjabi. Are you up for it?
Yeah.
Always, yeah?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so let me get the first one up. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. You might see. Okay, let me know when you can see my.
I was going to say, I hope it's movies that I've seen, because I'll be honest, I watch a lot of Punjabi movies. I don't tend to watch that many English, but hopefully there's a few in there that I have seen.
Okay, this quote is from the film Scarface.
Which I've not seen, but I know of it.
How can you not have seen Scarface?
My brothers have seen it, I'll be honest. I've not seen it, but I know of it, so hopefully I'll understand the quote.
Perfect. So it's, say hello to my little friend. Say hello to my little friend. And you can see what's going on there. He's clearly getting ready to shoot people. And that's what he's talking about.
Okay, so मेरे छोटे दोस्त नो सलाम बोलो और मेरे छोटे दोस्त नो सत श्री अकाल बोलो.
There you go. That was brilliant. I would never been able to do that, by the way. I'm asking you because I don't know. Right. So the next one. Have you seen the film Titanic?
Yes, I've seen Titanic.
Okay, so you've seen the film Titanic. Okay, so this is hopefully an easy one. Okay. You jump, I jump.
Okay. तू छाल मार तो फिर मैं छाल मार दी.
Brilliant. There's no way I would have got that either. Okay. The next one is from the film E.T. Have you seen E.T. before?
I've seen E.T. I have, yes.
Okay, so you're going to say E.T. go home.
E.T. तू घर नू जा.
घर जा.
तू घर नू जा.
I do like that. Okay, so obviously, because we're going to say घर नू जा, let's put the next one on.
Okay.
This is the Terminator.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
मैं मुड़ के आउंदी हां.
So we sent E.T. home.
Yeah.
And मैं मुड़ के आउंदी हां.
And if it's a bloke, it'll be मैं मुड़ के आउंदा हां. So if it was the Terminator, he'll be saying मैं मुड़ के आउंदा हां.
Oh, no. Listen. You know what? There's no more test for your Punjabi. I think you've completely got it. We've passed the first test. It's the initiation stage. Awesome. Yeah. Well, Sukhi, so obviously you're on the show, and I want to know a bit more about you. So what were you doing kind of in the younger days? Take yourself back 20, 25 years. What were you doing growing up? I mean, did you ever think that you'd be in front of the camera?
Oh, definitely no. So growing up, I had a very typical Punjabi sort of childhood, really. So my parents, obviously we come from a Sikh background. They used to, although we weren't religious, they used to sort of, still make sure that we learn about Sukhi. They used to take us to the Gurdwara every Sunday. You know, they used to encourage us to speak Punjabi all the time at home. My dad and parents always say, you know what, at home, speak Punjabi, but when you're in school, you're going to pick up English anyway. So, so yeah, growing up, you know, I had 2 brothers. I feel like, you know, obviously you're the same sort of age, so we had that childhood where we used to play out on the streets, you know, when the street lights were on and stuff. It was safe, you know, playing Kirby, playing British Bulldog, cricket and stuff in the streets.
It must be my must be my age range. Yeah, definitely. And you know what? It's quite funny that you say that. I mean, in our culture, you know, you're right. I mean, I think Sikh people do it better than Muslim people these days, to be honest with you. If you go to Southall, you see a 6-year-old, he speaks proper Punjabi. You go ask my son how to speak Punjabi, right? He'll say, what's Punjabi? You know, so you just, so I think you guys do it better, but I suppose it's embedded at a young age, isn't it?
It is important. I think it's really important, you know what, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲਾਂਗੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਨ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਆ. Do you know what I mean? If we stop speaking it, it's going to become instinct. Like I said, even when I go to Punjab, I've noticed my cousins there, they tend to go to, you know, English speaking schools, and they tend to want to focus more on English and forgetting Punjabi. So, you know what, I've always said that you know, if I have kids in the future, I'll make sure that I continue to, you know, speak Punjabi to them. We've got nephews, and again, to them, we try and encourage them, but it's very hard because they tend to just want to speak English back to you. But we've said, you know what, if we keep speaking Punjabi at home to them, they'll become sort of used to it and hopefully start picking up on words. But you know, growing up, you know,
I've learned my Punjabi by watching your TikTok videos. If you're watching your TikTok videos, if people, Sukhi's got a TikTok channel, and she speaks Punjabi and she imitates Punjabi speakers. And some real cool stuff on there. How did you get onto TikTok, and where did that come about from?
So TikTok, I'll be honest, Shaz. So we mentioned the first lockdown back in March. You know, it was something that people started downloading, and I said to myself, nah, you know what, I can just about cope with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I was like, not another social media app, I can't cope with it. But then because I got bored of it, I was bored, I had nothing to do, I thought, let me download it, and that was it. And like I said, I loved watching Punjabi movies, so the fact that I can lip sync to the dialogues, it was just keeping me busy, keeping me entertained, and it was just, you know what I mean, it was just something to do. And over time, because obviously we've now been in lockdown for nearly it's coming up to a year, isn't it, really? It's just something that it keeps you entertained, basically. That's the only reason I kind of do it, and I love it. It's just another platform which is really good to use.
So modern technology, and you know what, it's I think it's good for, I mean, like I said, it's if that's what the youngsters use, maybe that's another way of getting them to learn. See some messages coming up on here now. Actually, you got hello, hi, we're rooting for you. You get people rooting for you. Mother tongue is important. Yeah, so yeah, we got a message from Gusher and Mara. I think I pronounced that right. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, you get a few people sharing, which is brilliant. Awesome. So what with so let's just go back to your career then. So I mean, did you have any role models when you were younger growing up, and working in a course, you was working in a contact center, and you did various jobs, and then you ended up on the Sikh channel. I mean, what was that kind of, how did that happen, and how did that come about?
Okay, so growing up, role models, it's probably gonna sound very cliche, but my parents are my role models, because they, you know, they sort of instilled in me that you need to sort of always work hard. You know, my dad's had 2 jobs from ever since I've been born, really. So he's always worked hard. So, you know, watching my parents work hard has made me, you know, want to do that as well. So, obviously, I graduated in 2008, and I thought to myself, right, I'm gonna just have a short-term job in a contact center, 6 months, and then decide what I want to do. Because even then, I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do with life. But like I said, I've been in that company now for over 13 years. And believe it or not, when I joined, I was such a shy person, very timid. You know, I'd feel really awkward if people wanted to speak to me. You know, in like team activities, if someone said, Sukhi, what do you think? I'd be like, oh God, don't talk to, I just couldn't cope with that. It was giving me anxiety, and I was like, I just didn't have the confidence. And then we started doing some internal comms videos at work, and they said, well, why don't you try and sort of present some videos? And I was like, I can barely speak in front of people, let alone a camera. Like, you know, it was really freaking me out. But I remember I thought, okay, right, you know what, I'll try it, because otherwise I'm just going to constantly be like this. So I remember I tried one video, and I literally didn't have to do any speaking. I was just pretending to be a customer in the background. and I loved it. And then I carried on doing a few more to like, you know, when I started building up my confidence, I stopped stuttering. I was like, just had that camera presence, and it just, do you know what I mean? Like if you start doing something, you become good at it, like anything in life. So then my Abby said to me, why don't you try the Sikh channel? I was like, that's speaking Punjabi. She's like, Punjabi to teri theek hai, tu kehta hai, just try it. And I was like, oh, no, it's a Sikh channel, and I'm just wasn't ready for it. Anyway, she said, look, there's an advert on there. They want a children's TV presenter. Try it. And I remember I tried it, and it was really, really pushing myself out of my comfort zone, Shaz. I would normally never do that.
Wow.
Turned up, and then like how you've tested me for my Punjabi, they tested me, and I was like, oh God, like what do I say? Like they asked me a couple of words, and I said it, and they like, and now you said going to Punjabi on the Atiga, and they said the same thing to me. But then they said, look, we want you to try and do live TV. And I was like, this is a shy person. I'm saying to you, you know, don't have confidence. You're pushing me to do live TV. Never. But anyway, I remember like they just kept saying, try it. And then I had a co-host at that time, and he was an older uncle G. And I remember they sat me down in front of him, and they went 3, 2, 1 live. And I literally, I've got a picture of my TV. I should have sent it you, but I look frightened. I'm so scared. I'm literally like, Hanji, Sashi God, Hanji. That's all I say throughout it. But like I said, I stuck to it, and like I said, I've been there for 6 years now, and it's something I absolutely love doing. The opportunities, the things that we've done, like, you know, the platform's given me a chance to do so much more, which I absolutely love. I think we're going to talk about some of the stuff, but and that's how my TV career started, Rich.
I've got a famous picture of you here. I need to bring it up on the screen, I think. And then let's see. You can see my screen, can't you?
I can see you at the moment. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Here we go. This
is MP. Yep.
Yeah, this is you interviewing an MP from Slough. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. That's
and then you're at work. Yeah. What's on the T-shirt?
That's got the Sikh channel logo on there. Okay. Yeah. So
where was this?
So this was in Houses of Parliament. So a couple of years ago, a Sikh man had the star, so his turban, knocked off in a racial attack near the House of Commons. So we got together at Sikh channel. We thought, you know what, something negative that's happened there, we're going to turn it into a positive. So we held the star event in Houses of Parliament, and it was fantastic. We had MPs from all different parties come along and basically had the stars tied, and we were able to explain to them the importance of why the star is so important to a Sikh, and why knocking it off, and you know how it was so disrespectful. So they came along and asked lots of questions, and it was just a really good way of raising awareness of something that's, you know, something that negative that happened out there. And they were tweeting about it. People were asking questions in the streets, stopping and saying, you know, what you doing. So it was just a great way of, like I said, raising awareness.
So what was it like being a kind of a young Sikh girl going into the Houses of Parliament and going in, talking in front of the MPs? I mean, how was that feeling? I mean, was there a whole team of you? Was it just a few of you? And
so there was a whole team of us, and I think we were live. We were live for, I think, that the whole day. There was maybe 8 hours, maybe live that we did, and it was like I say, it was brilliant to see, because they were asking questions, and you know, the fact that we could, you know, like I said, talk about the star and what it means to us as Sikhs. And I felt like we left there by delivering a positive message. Like I said, it was mentioned in the House of Commons, but then the MPs were tweeting about it, so then other people around the world could see it. I think it was actually trending on the day, which was, like I said, it was just a brilliant event. And
I can imagine, being really exciting, and you know, kudos to you. I mean, to go out there and, you know, from a contact centre, work yourself forward, push yourself from the boundaries. You know, you're right, pushing yourself out of comfort zone and trying to kind of. But you learn the most when you're out of your comfort zone, and it's reality.
That's it.
You know, and once you're out of your comfort zone, you're actually pushing yourself, and you're learning more, and getting yourself in that situation, and then getting in front of the camera. And you're right, practice makes perfect. You know, you have to keep perfecting, because things change, environment change, COVID comes and hits you, you don't know what's going on. And then being in front of, you know, some senior people, and the MP had a bit of a story. I remember when he spoke back and he stood up for some racial attacks against Muslim people.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I think he's well respected across the board, irrelevant of what culture, background, religion. So, you know, kudos to him as well, which is brilliant. I'm gonna go on to something else now.
Okay.
This is I'm thinking I've got a bit of a quiz for you, and I'm not sure. Are we ready for a quiz? I don't know if people are. Is everybody ready for a quiz? I've got 5 questions for Sukhi, and I think she might need a little bit of help.
I was going to say, because I can't really see any comments here, so I'm hoping someone's going to help me out. If not, you're going to have to give me a clue, Shaz.
Oh yeah, because you're on your phone, aren't you? Yeah. So what I'll do is I will read out the question, and I'll give it about 10-15 seconds, because I think the viewing's 15 seconds behind.
Okay.
And that gives you enough time to start thinking about it. And I've tried to keep these questions relative to your experience and your knowledge and all that sort of stuff. They are all here. And someone's mentioned, what is your view on the farmers and how can we in the UK help those in India? I'm going to come on to that a little bit later, Carmel. So Carmel, I'm going to just hang fire and keep on watching. Get another 10 people to come and watch as well, and then we'll do it then. All right. So question 1 for you is, what was the first? So what year was the first iPhone released? I'm going to give you 3 answers, and you can tell me which one it is. Right?
Okay.
2007, 2012, or 2010. So what year was the first iPhone released? 2007, 2012, or 2010?
I want to say 2007. Purely because I'm thinking back of obviously where we work and stuff, and I feel like we didn't get the first one. We got the 3GS. I feel like that's the one that we started stocking. So I feel like there was one up before then. So that's why I've gone with 2007. I don't know if that's right.
You got people throwing in answer 2007 as well. So you're gonna ask the crowd. Yeah, you got 2 people that said 2007. Guess what? It is 2007.
Yes.
Okay. The tallest building in the world is located in which city? Beijing, Dubai, or New York?
Oh, I want to say
Beijing, Dubai, or New York? Where's the tallest building located?
I feel like it's Dubai.
Right, let me just.
I'm going to say Dubai.
Oh, I've got somebody come up saying Dubai. Someone else has just agreed with you.
I think Dubai.
Somebody says Beijing. Okay. Okay, so if you think it's Dubai, it is the Burj Khalifa.
Yes.
And it is in Dubai. So whoever said Dubai was the right answer. Okay, yeah, it is Burj Khalifa. Yep, you got that right. Okay, so this one is, you're probably going to laugh at this one because it's straightforward. But I'm going to, So what currency is used in Turkey? Is it rupee? Is it lira? Or is it euro? What's the currency of Turkey?
My friend's been to Turkey.
You want to see what other people are saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it rupee? Is it lira? Or is it a euro?
What are people saying?
I've got someone shout lira.
I was going to say I don't think it's euro. It's definitely not rupee. I know that much.
Okay.
So it's got between euro or lira, but I think it's lira. I don't think
it's
if my friend went to...
The official currency is the Turkish lira.
Yes. Brilliant. Yeah.
The Turkish lira is what it is. Okay, so this is one that hopefully you'll know, being in the social media space. Okay. What does GIF stand for? Okay. Graphics Interchange Format.
Okay.
Graphics Indian Format. General Inter Format.
The first one. It's got to be the first one.
That makes sense.
It's got to be the first one. That's what makes sense.
Okay, so it can't have nothing to do with India, and it can't be general. So okay, so it's graphic interchange format is what it is. For those people I didn't know, I didn't until I looked up that question.
I
So I know what
I
it is.
didn't know, so I've learned something today. So thanks, Shaz.
No worries. Yeah, that's what about. Okay, so this one, I'm hoping you'd get right, and hoping everyone will get right. This is the last one before we go into the next part of this. Okay, so what company is also named after the longest river?
Okay.
Atlantic, Amazon, or Mississippi? What company is also named after one of the longest rivers? Atlantic, Amazon, or Mississippi?
I think it's the first Atlantic, because Amazon is a forest, I want to say. Mississippi, I've not really heard of any. I can't think of any right now. So Atlantic, I'm going to go with, but I feel like that might be wrong.
Okay, no, it's fine. The answer is Amazon. Yes.
Okay, I was thinking of like, obviously I was thinking of the Amazon
Right.
forest.
You got 4 out of 5,
Okay.
which is
4 out of 5.
Yeah, you got 4 out of 5, and that's kind of joint top with Shiraz from last week.
Okay, I was going to say, because my general knowledge isn't the best, so when he said that we're going to ask you general knowledge questions, like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Like, really make a fool of myself. So 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Are you happy with that? Okay, no, cool. So that was just a bit of fun, and I intend to do the same sort of questioning with the rest, and we'll see. So you're top of the league table with Shiraz. So we haven't been back in a couple of weeks.
I need to see a board behind you there on the board. Now at Sukhi at the joint or whatever at the top. Yeah. Hopefully I can stay.
John, we'll get a board up there, and we'll get one up there. When we've got about 5 people on, and then the board's worth having, then we'll do it. At least I can remember you both. You're both joint top. That's all I care about. Okay, so perfect. So I've got some people leaving messages, which is, speaking of Amazon, Jeff Bezos has become the world's richest person after Elon Musk lost. Yeah, we know about that. Great work, Sukhi. You're getting some thumbs up there. So you're saying great work, which is brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go on to the next bit then, because this is a really, really interesting story, and I wanted to talk to you about it because working with the Sikh channel, and I don't know if it was with the Sikh channel, you had the opportunity to go across to Pakistan, to Kartarpur. Is that right? Kartarpur.
But yeah.
Correct me, right? So you went across to Kartarpur. How did that come about, and what was that journey like going to Kartarpur?
Oh, it is amazing. So I went I was going to India anyway for the 550th Gurpurab of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, so the founder of Sikhism. So it's a big celebration that's happening. So I was planning to go to India anyway on my own with family, staying with family, and then Sikh channel we're going to go to Pakistan. And I said, oh, I'd love to go. They're like, well, you're going to be in India. Why don't you cross the border? I was like, I'll be on my own. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, just do it. Just try it. You know, we'll be at the other side of the border. Come along. And I told my parents, and they were like, you know, it's not safe. Don't go by yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? My parents, because they obviously were in England. I went to stay with my thai in Punjab. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. Got myself, my friend sorted out a visa. And I said, I've always, Shaz, wanted to cross the Wagah border on foot. Because, you know, I've been before where we see the parade that happens between Pakistan and India every evening. And I was like, oh my God, it'd be amazing if I could just step foot over the gate and be like, oh, I'm in Pakistan now. Wow. And when I got the visa and stuff, I didn't realize that's the way you actually go. You cross the border on foot. So I remember my Thai dropped me off, and she said, you know, just let us know how you are when you get there. And yeah, I crossed the border on foot by myself. My family, obviously, like I said, Sikh channel were already in Pakistan anyway. And yeah, like I said, they were waiting for me to cross the other side of the border.
This picture looks like you've just been arrested.
I know. I was going to say,
what's going on here? Is this the security that escorted you into Pakistan or on the way back out?
Well, it's because I'm such a big star. I needed security with me. That's all it is. My bodyguard. No, but the thing is, these because of the fact that there was massive celebration happening, it was just security around just to make sure nothing went wrong. So cross the border, and what an experience. So we probably see that, you know, there's a lot of sort of stigma, which I think sort of comes from like a lot of the Indian media about the hostility towards Muslims with Sikhs and people, but didn't feel anything like that. It was one of the best experiences of my life. Now, the reason I went as well, like I said, the birthplace of Guru Nanak Dev Ji is in Nangana Sahib. Nangana Sahib is in Pakistan.
Okay.
So that's where we went, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And it wasn't just obviously Sikh people there. There was obviously Muslims that live in Nangana Sahib. They were all part of the celebrations. They just sort of welcomed us with so much love. Like, they spoke to us with so much respect. You know, if they see a Sardar, they'd be saying, you know, come in. You know, when you go shopping, they'd be like telling you sit down, and they'll be bringing drinks to you, and they just wanted to sort of know why you were there, and sort of just, they were just so blown away with how many people that were there, and they saying come every year to us. It was just phenomenal.
You told me about a story that the lady that was
Sikh history in Pakistan is just phenomenal, honestly.
You told me a story about a lady that was crossing. Do you want to give everybody a bit of what that story was about? And
so Kartarpur, which was obviously the border was opened, so Imran Khan and Navjot Sidhu together said, look, this is what we were going to do, because they have their friendship. They said, we're going to open this border so Sikhs can get darshan of Kartarpur. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji spent I think 18 years of his life there, so he spent a lot of his time there. And so when the corridor was open, obviously I'd gone from the Pakistan side, but there's people obviously that visited that coming through the corridor from India. And I met this old lady there, and she was in tears. And I said, like, you know, Bibi, why are you crying? She goes, I've come back after the partition. So she goes, when the partition happened, she split up with her friend. So one of her best friends stayed in Pakistan. Wow. And obviously she ended up going to India. And she goes, I'm going to meet her after so many years. So that her friend had basically come through, and they met at that Gurdwara, and they were, do you know what I mean? Obviously I can understand why they were so emotional, but she just could not thank Imran Khan. And like I said, Navjot Sidhu, she goes, I've not been able to see my friend. And I can imagine so many more families that have probably, you know, not been able to see each other because of the partition. Because before that, we all lived together like brothers and sisters. Do you know what I mean? Side by side. There was so much BR there, and that BR is still there. But it's the media that's kind of like portraying this negativity, because I honestly didn't feel that at all.
It's quite emotional, actually, because, you know, it's quite a story, to be honest with you. If you know, whoever that lady is, she's going to see somebody she hasn't seen for a long time, and is separated, and you know, and I think there's a load like that. You know, there's loads of people like that that separate, and in reality, we was one big country at one point. Remember?
Of course, yeah,
you know, and that's all to remember. Well, I mean, it's so. I mean, I'm glad you had a brilliant experience in Pakistan. I mean, would you go again?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm already thinking about going this year, and I've said, because when I went, I was sort of vlogging my journey, and a lot of the youth that sort of know me or follow me, they was blown away. They think, I can't believe how much history there is here, like Sikh history. I was like, the Gurdwara where the langar started from, Guru Nanak Dev Ji established langar, is in Pakistan as well. So I think there's over 100 Gurdwara there. So the fact that I was learning as well, they said, look, you've made us want to go and do that journey. They were like, what were the locals like? I was like, they could not be nice enough. Like, they were just so loving. So I would
inspire people straight away. Just some inspiration there straight away for people to go out there and learn and educate, which again, I knew none of this. I mean, and I'm sure loads of people listening now, and this video will go out to multiple different platforms, and people will listen to this, and they wouldn't have a reality or understand of what's going on, and why Kartarpur is you know, an important place for Sikhism. And you know, so a lot of people wouldn't have known Guru Nanak stayed there.
Yeah.
So you know, and this is
he was born in Nangana, which is like, you know, so to Sikhs that will always be such an amazing place. And if you can visit, because when I visited and I went back to India, I remember there's a lady there, she hugged me. I was like, why are you hugging me? She goes, because you've been to Nangana Sahib, you've been to that blessed city, you've been to that blessed place. She goes, I've never been, I don't think I'll ever be able to go. The fact that you've been, I want to hug you because you've been there. And I was like,
amazing.
So, you know, it was just such a wonderful experience, honestly. I loved it.
So your trip to India, right, and going to Pakistan, going to India, I mean, you also went to India to an orphanage, and you know, I'm going to bring on a picture now, and I want you to tell us a story about what was going on here, and what's sort of orphanage, and why you went across, and what's going on over there. So give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to load up a picture. Can you see the picture?
I can.
Okay,
yes,
so
I can.
There's loads of, and it's quite. I mean, if you look at this picture, they're all young girls.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
what's going on, and what was that trip about? I mean, not the trip, but the visits there to this orphanage.
Of course. So again, like being at the Seek Channel, I've had amazing, I've met amazing people, and I've had the chance to work with amazing charities. So here I worked with the Seek Toy Appeal, and I visited this orphanage. Now, this orphanage is for abandoned girls in Punjab. Now, it was set up by a lady, an incredible lady called Bibi Prakash Kaur. Now, she was basically disowned by her family for being a girl. So the fact that she was a girl, she was sort of abandoned, and she made it her mission to look after every child, every girl that has been abandoned. Now, all these girls, again, those were just some of the little ones. There was another room where there were newborn babies as well, Shaz. There's probably like a dozen, maybe more than a dozen newborn baby girls. And then there was older ones who were currently in education. So what people tend to do, they were just dumping baby girls on the side of the roads in rubbish bins and stuff. At that home, what they've got is it's like they call it the cradle, which is it's basically like a latch. It's horrible. Honestly, I break down every time I see it. So she's basically said, look, if you've got a baby girl that you don't want, rather than throwing it in the dump, come here and use the cradle. Look, these were some of the little ones that would be honestly like absolutely beautiful girls. Like, why would your parent want to, abandon their child just because they're a girl? Like, I'm a girl. Like, to think my parents wouldn't want me because I'm a girl is it's that horrible mentality of the people that that the Indians that have done that. But yeah, so there's a cradle there. To just put the baby there and people take them rather than dumping them in some rubbish. So
I mean, it's not just an Indian issue. I think. I mean, this whole kind of this gender choice around having a male and a female, I think, goes on for centuries and back. And it's not. I think it's just unfortunate. I mean, raising the awareness and getting people to understand, and what that lady has done is fantastic. It's crazy. Yeah, but I mean, it happens now. I mean, you went there recently, and it's happening. The orphanages, we're thankful that the orphanage is there to take on them, look after them, and trying to give them a life that they were never going to get.
They honestly, they are looked after so well. Like I said, we took some donations there for the girls. But yeah, they looked after so well. Like the Bibi there, she makes sure that they're all educated in top schools. They all had smiles on their face. There's like this purpose-built house now, which is made for them. It's got a lot more facilities. Whereas when I went a couple of years ago, oh my gosh, it was just like the tiniest little room, and they were just all sort of cramped in it. And it broke my heart. But I thought, well, at least at least they've got a roof over their heads, and at least they're getting fed, and do you mean, Shaz? You've got kids. Do you mean? Can you imagine ever, dumping your child because you're not happy with the gender? It's just doesn't. I can't register. It doesn't register my mind.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And the thing is, I mean, I don't think you can, in any way, shape, or form, from my being a parent, being able to kind of justify that. I mean, if you can't support them, you can't, you've got to find support. But she's providing that to those sort of people. Definitely. If someone is in a situation where they can't handle or bring the child up, she's and she's looking after the orphanage, which is brilliant. But the work that you did there with the charity, with the toy appeal, I think again phenomenal. Credit to you. Again, it's very, very inspirational. It shows kind of the charitable side of you, and it's that sort of stuff that really people resonate with, because that's the sort of stuff that everybody else should be encouraged to do and inspired to do, which is fantastic. We don't have too much time. I would love to keep speaking to you for ages, but I'm going to come on to this final topic around this unrest in India. The farmers' protests, the Kisan protests that happened in the UK. So what's all that about? What's the uproar, and why are people so upset about what's going on in India?
Okay, so currently it's the largest protest in human history that's taking place. It's now been 98 days since these farmers that have left their homes in Punjab. And it's not just Punjab, it's all over. There's farmers all over India, but predominantly Punjab is where they do a lot of the agriculture. They're all farmers. So they've left their home in Punjab, travelled 8-9 miles, left their families, left their homes, and they've been sitting at the borders of Delhi. So, like I said, 98 days it's been. There's been numerous deaths.
Right.
They've been attacked by the police with batons, you know, tear gas, all sorts of stuff, water cannons. And they are basically protesting because the government has implemented 3 laws which basically jeopardize their livelihoods. So they're going to get rid of MSP. They can dictate what the farmers grow, and the fact that these farmers haven't been, or the farmer unions haven't been sort of approached about it. It's like, how can you push that? That's like me and you, like in this country. Say the government turns around and says, right, Shaz, Sukhi, we're paying you this much for your work. And then we say, okay, we don't agree with this. We want to protest. We go outside House of Parliament, but whilst we're going there, we're being attacked by the police. That's what is what's happening there. So this is why, you know, people around the world are raising awareness, because the Indian media is heavily controlled by Modi. So they've done internet shutdowns. Can you imagine, like, the fact that they can shut down the internet and we don't know what's happening there? You know, we've had Twitter accounts, social media accounts sort of blocked. They just want to obviously keep everything in India, whereas we've got voices around the country, and because we've started speaking about it, raising awareness, it's come to light now. So I
think the same challenges with Kashmir, and there's loads of stuff going on around, and it's the same sort of kind of tactics that's been used over years. So the kind of the key reasons is the livelihoods of the farmers have been taken away, and in terms of they've been dictated to how and what and how they can trade and what they can do, what they can sell and how they can trade. And I assume it's to put the money into the pockets of those different people in the corporates, right? So I mean, that's the right. I mean, so they're fighting for their rights and their livelihoods, basically.
And they're peaceful, right? This is the thing, they are peaceful protesters, but the India is using negative propaganda to make them out to be something that they're not. They've been labeled as terrorists, they've been labeled as all sorts of things. If there's pictures of like the elders, like there's, you know, like our grandparents' age, you look at them, you think, how are they attacking? You literally see police that are battering them. But then these farmers, even though they've set up camp by the borders, they've set up schools there. So the poor children of Delhi, they're sort of teaching them education. A lot of the poor children around there, they say, we want the farmers to stay forever because we're getting to eat food, because they've taken food with them. They're feeding. So the same police that are attacking them, they're actually feeding them langar as well. You know, there's a little girl that says, like, I come every day to the site because I get fruit, and she goes, I've never eaten fruit, I've never had rice pudding. So, you know, like I said, they're fighting for their rights, but yet they're feeding other people, yet food from their own, you know, mouths has been taken away from them. If this was, you know, if this happens, it's their livelihood. You know, they won't be able to sort of run their families. But
quite rightly, you're completely passionate about it. And I think we all should be passionate about stuff like that. And you know, you know, in terms of the country, the prime minister of this country, the government, they should be supporting the Sikh community with the protesters and actually pushing that out to the government. I don't want this to be about politics, but it's very, very, very fair to raise awareness and educate people on what's going on, because there's a lot of people that don't understand what's going on. And you know, I've seen the fact that, guys, if you want to follow Sukhi, she's got some podcasts going, she's got some videos going, and she's actually really voicing her opinion and her, you know, in the right way to what's going on, and highlighting some of the stuff that's going on across in India. So follow Sukhi. Sukhi, how would people follow you?
I was going to say, I've got my Facebook page, Sukhi Kaur, Instagram is Sukhi Kaur1, I think TikTok's the same. No doubt, I think, Shaz, you've linked me on your page anyway, so you'll be able to find me through that. So feel free to follow if you like.
So Sukhi, you know what, this has been a brilliant chat and conversation with yourself, and you know, and I'm sure people have been really engaged, and the story you tell is wonderful. And there's loads of different aspects to it. I just hope, you know, all good comes to you, your family, and your career in presenting, your TV presenting. You know, it shoots off, and you know, you reach some big things. And don't forget us, is what I'm going to say to us. Say to you. So thank you for joining us, Sukhi.
Thank you so much for giving me the platform and speaking to me. It's been wonderful, and yeah, no, I've really enjoyed it. So thank you for letting me share my story, and I look forward to the future people that you have, and I'll be keeping an eye out for that leaderboard behind you if it does pop up.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have you back on in a couple of months to see how you're getting on, and we'll see what's going on, and you know, you can give us an update on what the protests are, and maybe some of the stuff that you're doing, so we can share it with the rest of this group. For everybody, thank you very much for coming on and listening, and for those guys that are going to be watching this afterwards on Instagram, TikTok, or whichever social media platform we push this on, please do share the page. You know, this is a platform for people to get recognised, the unsung heroes, unsung talents, and also share their stories. Clearly, very inspirational people. So please do share. We will be back next Saturday with somebody else. I'm not going to give it away yet, but we have got somebody, a wonderful plan to be here next week, roughly about the same sort of time. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. Sorry for taking up too much of your Saturday. Sukhi was wonderful. My tea's gone cold, so I'm going to go have my tea.
Me too.
And we talked about custard creams. Try these Fox's melts. I shouldn't be advertising this, but Fox's melts. Vienna chocolate melts. Home bargains, cheapest chips. Go get some. Anyway, take care.
See you later. Bye.